Welcome here.
Thank you.
Why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about how long you've been living in St. Catharines?
My name's Fred Bowering. I've been living here all my life, 54 years as of today.
Today?
Not today, my birthday, no, but
Okay.
in my 54th year.
Okay.
See, I screwed it up again.
No. We're recording. So
Yeah,
it's not your
okay.
birthday thinking this. I was about to
No, it's February 24. I'll be 55, and I'll be able to get the Shoppers Drug Mart Seniors discount now.
Nice.
That's one thing to look forward to, I guess, but yeah. Yeah, my name's Fred. I'm Fred Bowering. Born and raised in St. Catharines. Yeah, it's my hometown. I care greatly about it.
Tell me a little bit about your upbringing. What was that like?
Upbringing had its good moments and its bad moments, you know. Yeah. Unfortunately, some of the bad moments were extremely bad moments, traumatic moments. So, I live with some setbacks because of that, like complex post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm bipolar, and because of the years of ups and downs, drastic ones, I've developed borderline personality disorder, and I'm learning to live with my emotional wellness issues. You know what I mean? I don't really like the term mental health. It's sort of like there's a stigma with that still, with mental health issues and addictions issues. I live with both. I'm a recovering addict, clean for 9 years now, from cocaine, crack, meth, crystal, medications from the doctors, even neocitrin, cold and flu. I used to be addicted to those. And yeah, so I got 9 years clean. I smoke cannabis still. It helps with my PTSD and my night terrors, and also helps with my appetite as well. So yeah, clean 9 years and going strong, I guess you could say. You know, strong enough to the point where I interact with my fellow addicts in the community, whether it's cleaning up drug paraphernalia in our community, or it's checking on them, wellness checks. I go with different groups in the community. Being a friend to the community members, you know, I accompany the Bear Clan, Niagara Dream Center, other faith-based groups that want to know people in our community. I introduce people, and usually if I come walking up with a group of people to somebody's space in the community, living rough, they know that the person that I'm coming with is going to be a friend, somebody who's there to help them in a supportive, non-judgmental way. And so yeah, I like kind of navigate, you know. It's a unique relationship I've grown in the community, you know, one I greatly cherish, you know what I mean? Like I was saying earlier, when I was walking here, some of our homeless friends in our community living rough, whether it's mental health or addictions, you know, brighten my day up, you know. I see their face look up. When I see them go, hey, and they smile, and I don't smile a lot, they don't smile a lot. So it's pretty cool when we say that, you know what I mean? We see each other, we say hi, and I oddly enough tell people I love them a lot. So it's like I get to hear it back, you know? When I tell them I love you, they say I love you, you know what I mean? And it's like a friendship, family, you know, kind of like a street family, you know?
Now, do you feel like you were modeled that? Like, just going back to like your relationship with your parents, would you have heard that from your parents? That I love you, or?
Not so much growing up. Things were different, you know. I was raised with hearing this is going to hurt me more, it's going to hurt you. Discipline, you know. Discipline has shaped me to be the person I am. Unfortunately, sometimes the discipline went over to the extreme level, you know. But I was raised proper. I was raised to respect my elders, you know. I was raised to...
Like, did your parents live together, or did you...
No, my mom and father were separated. My father and mother met actually at the totem pole in Centennial Gardens. And yeah, they were together for probably 3 years-ish, you know, before they had separated. My father did some time in the penitentiary. I was a kid baby, so I don't know. I just know my mother ended up getting with my stepfather, and that's why I was raised as my younger years. First I was born as a Bowring, then raised as a Jessam, so I was known as Freddie Jessam in the community. And when I got sober and in therapy, I wanted to go back to my birth name, you know, for some personal reasons, you know, and yeah, so I just...
Do you mind sharing what the reasons were for changing?
Well, my stepfather wasn't always the kindest person to me, you know. I have great memories of him, beautiful, fun memories of him, but then I have torturous memories of him. He wasn't well, you know. He was schizophrenic. He had addictions issues, like hidden, that I knew about, you know. And yeah, so when I got started getting into therapy and dealing with some of the abuse, I just wanted to rediscover, and through therapy helped me to who I am, who am I, you know what I mean? Because I was also known as Freddie Jessam. I used to sell drugs. I was involved in the drug world, and I was involved in drugs in our community, you know what I mean? So like, I just did not want that part of my past, you know what I mean? So I went back to Bowring and went back to in therapy and looking back to what made me happy, what shaped me to be a person I am today, you know what I mean? So I didn't want to be a drug dealer like I grew up to be. I didn't know anything about being Freddie Bowring, who has a Mohawk father, you know what I mean? My biological father is Mohawk. So I wanted to, while in therapy, looking back to like, who am I and what makes me happy, and I needed to find a purpose in my life, you know. So like, I started to get involved in the Native community as keeping fire, as fire keeper. Sacred fire is how First Nations people pray. It's how we pray to God, to Creator, to our ancestors. Just like church, we come into church where we're here right now, you know what I mean? We can light a candle for a loved one who's not well, somebody we lost. Sacred fire is the same, it's the exact same concept, you know what I mean? Where you could offer the medicines, either tobacco, cedar, sweetgrass, or sage to the fire, and it's more personal. And it was, I always, when I was a little boy, when I was a little Freddie Bowring with my long hair, and always teased because I Catholic school and long hair, you know, like a girl. You know, I was so proud of my hair, and I was proud that I was Mohawk. I just wanted to, honestly, in a way, I wanted to like embrace that child, you know what I mean? And I look back and remembered me as a kid and how I used to go to the store for all the neighbors and shovel the grass, shovel the snow, rake their leaves, cut their grass, you know what I mean? And I was a helpful, caring person, you know what I mean? And before all the crap. And so then I wanted to, like, we're looking at Freddie Bowring, and I never had a chance to learn about the Native culture because I was discouraged from it in school, at home, not by my mother. You know, I wasn't encouraged either, but so I never knew anything about the First Nations way of being, you know. And my grandmother, where I get my Mohawk blood from, Maggie, she was a residential school survivor and a nunnery survivor, you know. And when I was young, my grandmother sat me down and she asked me to promise her that I would learn about the culture. And when I did, I'd use it to unite, you know, and I just, yes, Grandma, no problem, I'll keep this promise. And my grandpa also asked me, it became a promise to make the Bowring name a good name, because it maybe it wasn't seen in a good eye, in his eye, you know. I understand now why he made that promise, and I can't actually, I won't go into those details, but so when I got clean, I first got clean at a church, you know, and unfortunately for me and the church, abuser of mine from the past was there and stirred up a lot of things, and yeah, it stirred up a lot of stuff for me, and so I felt like the church wasn't my home anymore because I didn't feel safe there, you know, in a sense, and I was triggered to remember sexual abuse at somebody who was like a big brother to me, you know. I volunteer at the youth center when I was a child, so I kind of was like out of the church, you know what I mean, and I was upset because he was forgiven by everybody but me, you know, to be honest with you, you know what I mean. As hard as I was trying to forgive him, it all ended one day where he screamed out in church in front of everybody, "Stop trying to be my friend." And I just like took off outside, and then he was outside, and
He said that to you?
yes. And I remember being outside, and like the pastor came out and was like, "You guys okay?" And I was just like, just at a breaking point, you know what I mean? I didn't know what I was going to do. If I was going to hurt myself or hurt him, or I was just like completely at a loss for words. So then I remember putting my head down, and I looked down on the ground, and I picked up that stone.
Oh my gosh.
And it's his heart.
That is beautiful.
It's a heart. So I left the church with what I needed, you know what I mean? And it turned out to be a heart. So like when I
See if there's, you can show the camera there.
I don't feel alone.
There.
I don't always feel alone. And when I do feel alone, I'll carry the heart with me. You know what I mean? And
That's something.
I may not go to the church anymore, you know, but I left that day not being alone, you know. I left that day feeling accompanied with my elder brother, our elder brother, Jesus, you know what I mean? And I'm not a preachy person because I was preached to a lot, and I was demeaned and cut down, you know, because I was Native, you know what I mean? And so yeah, and that happens with a lot of people who are Native or mixed as well, like myself, that we were discouraged to speak or to like be Native, you know what I mean? And I model my life by it now. I model my life by how I would see Jesus walk this world if he were here today. And he is here today. He's in my heart, he's in your heart, he's in his heart, he's in many people's hearts, you know what I mean? And he's here, you know, and just as creator, God is here, the Father, God the Father, as Jesus would say, is here amongst us. You know, he created the universe, he created all creation, he created everything, you know, and that's the native way. It's creator. It's called God creator, and the native way. I love I love it so much that we love the animals. Stewardship, you know, stewardship to two-legged, four-legged, winged ones, the trees, the water, Mother Earth, you know, and so like it reminds me. I was born in '69, so it's a hippie era. You know what I mean? Peace, love, and unity. You know, and that's kind of what I try to. Well, I'm trying to still find myself. You know what I mean? That's what I see. You know what I mean? And that's what I try his best to do. You know, I try his best to walk as Jesus did, as my grandmother did. You know what I mean? As my father did, like my earthly father. You know, and yeah, I try not to cut away that judgment, you know, and don't judge people. Don't judge the lady out there selling her body for whatever reason, you know what I mean? Don't judge the guy in the corner screaming, or judge the guy who's hitting himself in the head because he can't, you know what I mean? Like, don't judge, you know, be a friend and support, you know, and I'm not perfect, I'm a human being, you know what I mean? But I just try to be a better me, and better than some of the people, you know? And try to take the good out of the bad. I've learned that with my life, is that I have to learn that, to take the good out of the bad, you know what I mean? So like when I get triggered, and I remember being forced into a box and locked in a box, you know what I mean? By a person, I'll remember A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, you know, and yeah. So I would rather remember him for that than when he was sick, you know what I mean, and abusing me and locking me in a box, and, you know, I can't hate him. It's my sister's father too, you know what I mean, like, yeah. I was told that I'm a worthless piece of shit, that I'm never going to amount to anything. Repeatedly, and that's the first thing I hear in the morning, unfortunately. It's straight up truth, you know what I mean? But that's my chip on my shoulder. If anybody says, what's this chip on his shoulder? Like, what does he think he is? I'm just proving to myself that I'm not a worthless piece of shit, that I can amount to something, you know, and God don't create no junk. You know, I got that from my abuser. He used to say that, you know, and...
Well, Fred, word on the street is you're a beautiful human, and you're just in being, you're saving people's lives, and people, the amount of friends you have, you know, around this neighborhood are, well, it's unbelievable.
That's what we're supposed to do. That's, you know, I took that from organized religion and church, and I made it churches everywhere for me, you know, a church like that. I was in church this morning. I spoke with 3 elders, and they were 3 white-tailed deer. I woke them up, good morning. I got it on video, I just shared it. I share my encounters, you know, that's my therapy. You know, photography is photography for me. It's getting me out of my head, you know. I've had extensive trauma, so I need extensive therapy, like EMDR therapy is something, a therapy for people with post-traumatic stress disorder, you know, and I got so many layers of trauma, unfortunately, you know, but...
Do you mind talking about the cross you're carrying on your, what do you...
Oh, the naloxone, yeah. The land Lifeguard box is what I call it. Yeah, naloxone, it's reverses overdoses, opioid overdoses. You spray it in their nose, it's pretty easy to do. You got gloves in here. You have a shield in here for when you have to give somebody assisted breathing, you know, and yeah, it's like you save somebody, you know, like a lifeguard. We all know what a lifeguard is, and I don't wear a lifeguard t-shirt or a naloxone box, and I don't leave home without it, you know, and thankfully I've been able to help out quite a few people, you know, in our community, and not too long ago I had to do it again, and it's a traumatizing thing every time, you know, and thankfully every person I've had to work on has come back, you know, and it's a scary thing when you come up on a human being and they're like blue, purple, or gray, and they're not breathing, and you can't feel a heartbeat, you know what I mean? But this is a lifesaver, naloxone. It's like, without this, I wouldn't be able. I may have saved some of them, because I would have not given up. I would have kept breathing for them and given them chest compressions until they got there, and the medics would do whatever they would do. But I'm so thankful that every person is woken back up, you know what I mean? And
how often would you be using that?
too many to count, like a lot. Sometimes I've had to one person. Well, during COVID and with everybody getting their CERB money, it was like crazy, and it comes and goes in waves because the potency and the tainted drug supplies they come and go in waves, you know, and it seems to just be getting, like right now you got drugs that have it's fentanyl, an opioid, and it's got benzos in it. Well, naloxone won't work on a benzo overdose, you know. You have to keep doing chest compressions and assisted breathing until medics get there, because basically they have to put them on like a respirator, you know what I mean, until it wears off, is what I was told by a paramedic. Like, I asked, what do you do when it's a benzo thing? And yeah, they just got to keep their body circulating, you know what I mean? And with naloxone, yeah, like, I've probably used it, no word of a lie, over a couple hundred times. Sometimes some people, like one person, more than one person, 10 times or more, you know, and yeah, it's a scary thing. And if anybody ever comes across an overdose, and like with me, I'll dial 911. I put my phone down right beside the person's head, so the 911 operator can hear, it's on speaker, can hear any sound that they make, you know, gurgles or anything, you know. And yeah, so I tell everybody is when you find somebody is you call 911 and they'll guide you into what to do, you know, and you're not alone then, you know what I mean? Because most of the time I was alone coming up on somebody, so yeah, I'm just getting shaky just thinking about it. Like, it's like I have to go home afterwards, and I literally, like I said, I smoke weed, so I'll go home and I'll smoke more than I normally smoke of weed, and take a nap and wake up and sort of like kind of reboot my brain. But it's an amazing feeling when you see somebody in the community and they say thank you, you know. It's like, yeah, it's like you saved my life, and I'm always like, no, it was the naloxone. I had my part in it, yes, but yeah, if it wasn't for the naloxone, I don't know how well it would have went, you know. But yeah, it's a sad time, a sad world we're living in. With there's more drugs and resources for people to get, you know, more variety of drugs and drug supply than resources to get help, you know what I mean? Like, hopefully in the future, I pray that treatment services get a boost of funding, you know, and get people supports, you know, mental health support. You're gonna get somebody in addictions needs mental health, who has mental health issues needs mental health support at the same time as they're getting off the drugs, you know. And but yeah.
What's your thought on just the housing crisis and what are you seeing in terms of people living in the streets or encampments?
Let's see, it's just increasing, and the people who are coming here, who Trudeau shipped over, they're adding, like, they're homeless too. I met a guy at Tim Hortons who's looking for work, you know. but it's got to be under the table because he doesn't have a social insurance number. And it's like, you know, are they bringing people here with these false hopes, you know? And they're getting here and they're starting to find now that they can't find housing. Because you hear in Toronto that there's a whole bunch of, the term refugee. How could they be a refugee when they were brought here, you know what I mean? And promised work and stuff. And yeah, we need to fix housing. We had a housing crisis before this Trudeau buying votes, as I call it, you know, because that's all it's about. Because, sorry, Justin, most of us would never vote for you, but yeah, it's sad to see veterans on our streets, to see what they would say a refugee. Like every summer now, there's been I don't know if they're Arabic, but 2 different ladies like living, carrying their belongings, you know what I mean? It's like, and they're elderly women, you know what I mean? It's like, affordable housing, yeah, enough of the yuppie condos, you know, like the city's pumping up in our community right now, you know, yuppie condos, you know, and what are we giving the homeless people? A parking lot, a concentration camp. Basically, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like the reservations, no clean water, still, you know? Truth and reconciliation. Oh, land acknowledgement, Haudenosaunee territory. Fresh water. Like, Canada is a joke. It's become a joke, you know what I mean? Under this government, you know? Selling out property, breaking land acknowledgement, but disregarding treaties like Thundering Waters sold off to developers, you know? It's like DQ Falls, the drive down the valley, and it's fenced off now, and it's for sale by Sotheby's. It's like crown land. It's supposed to be protected. It's the people's, you know what I mean? And yeah, it's corporate Canada, you know, like, yeah, oh, I gotta stop going into the politics thing here. I gotta slow down, but yeah, yeah, it's just slavery, Canada. But yeah, shut up, right?
No, well, I mean, but so there's only so much. We have a vote, you know.
We don't have a vote because it's rigged. It's as phony as WWF wrestling.
Right.
Please, it's just as phony and rigged. Like, what options do you get? Like, wake up, people, please. What options do you get? Door number 2, turd. Door number 2, 3, turd. You know what I mean? Like, you don't get a good option. Why cannot we vote? None of the above. I don't find any of these people that are gonna run our country or our province. I don't believe in none of these clowns. You know what I mean? And that's it. That's the options. You know what I mean? Oh, liberal. Oh, blah, blah, blah. It's like, whatever. Man-made divides. You know what I mean? Just to keep us not seeing eye to eye, you know? I pray that as humans we wake up and we see eye to eye and we take back what's ours, our country, our lands, you know what I mean? Our resources. Hydro One used to be owned, publicly owned. Our grandparents and great-grandparents and people before us paid out of their taxes to build the water, you know, like Niagara Falls power generation, and they sold it off to a private company. Now look at us. Now we're all getting taken advantage of because it's something we need, you know what I mean?
Okay, so there's a lot of things that have gone to shit, but what do you see that is hopeful? Like, if we can focus on something that we have
Canada?
the ability to influence and change in the way that you have, and the way
Well,
that
we
you
are.
shared.
Canada is a multicultural country, and that's the unity, right? That's the symbol of unity when everybody's accepted, you know what I mean? We're slowly like eroding away all these like barriers that I feel like we are, that kept us like apart from each other, you know. More and more people are starting to learn to respect someone else's faith, you know. I respect people's faith, you know. That's your faith, you know. That's what you believe, you know what I mean? Respect each other's faith, religions, you know. Practices, you know, like, as long as it's God, good, orderly direction, you know, it's good. You know, anything that's not good, orderly direction, that wants us to turn our back on our fellow human being, isn't good. You know what I mean? It's not godly. You know what I mean? Because truly godly is good, orderly direction. That's like, yeah, we've lost our connection to humanity, like to ourselves. You know what I mean? It's like these TVs and cameras, it's like raised, our kids are good little consumerists because they've been programmed since the day they're born, and we let them watch the idiot box, and it's all this material things, you know what I mean? And like the toy Mr. Potato Head, Mrs. Potato Head, you know? We're not accessories, and it's getting to the point where now like we don't like what we were given, what we're born with. It's like, embrace it. Be happy with who we are. You don't need to like I miss my long hair, you know. It'd be nice to have my hair long again. I just don't know if I go through all the stages and I'm all gray now, and you know what I mean? But like, just embrace who we are, you know, not accessorize. Well, no, a lot, but it's more and more people do, and it's because the TV, the TV shows, Hollywood wants us to be like, doesn't teach you any like, it's just like, we've lost our moral code in a sense, you know what I mean? Morality, you know, a lot of people are just being desensitized or losing the connection to living with morals, you know what I mean? It's all about, a lot of it's almost about me, you know what I mean? Me, mine, you know, and yeah.
Fred, thanks so much for sitting down and having this conversation. Yeah.
Thank you.
It was really, really meaningful.
Thank you.